So for my suit size, I usually wear a 42. My chest size is 44, but I found a 42 that's larger. Not all 42s are the same, but this one's a little bit larger 42, and it works well. A little bit blouse, as you can see, kind of a boxy fit. They're made for people that have a little bit more girth around the abdomen. This pant size is 36 with a 42 suit, so I need to remove about 4 inches out of that one to bring that down to where it would fit. That'll leave me a little inch of grace. So this form that I use now is pretty much a muscular form. This mannequin is made for men and it's pretty close to my size. So I start by just marking the places where I'm going to pin, and usually there's 4 places. And I got a pretty good idea when I put a suit on this mannequin pretty much how much I need to pin, because after experience I know basically how it's going to fit. So I'm just pinning where I think is a good estimate, and here's the first try on. And it came out to be pretty close there. But again, that's worked with this for a while. So that's what it's like with just pinning in the first initial area. I removed all the slack that's there. And that's what I've got to sew in from the other side and back. So far, that's pretty good. Now I have to make my measurements. I'm measuring 6 inches from the collar seam, and then I'm going to measure 15 inches from there. That's about midway the garment, because that's where I'm going to have what's called the apex of my taper, because I'm going to start at the top and gradually taper down toward the bottom. I've got to remove my lining. I got to remove my lining here. I'm going to start by removing the bottom lining, which is the hem lining, part of the lining. And now I'm going to remove the center part, the seam. I'm going to cut this with scissors rather than rip it, because I'm going to have to take it in. I'm measuring now the measurements that I did initially on the outside, the 6 inches and the 15-inch mark. I'm going to measure at those 2 places. And now I'm turning it back inside out, and we're going to pin it at the same places where it was pinned when I was wearing it. Now I'm measuring the depth. This is how far I need to. I already documented that from when I had it on the mannequin. These measurements are very important, because that's where you're going to draw your line, and that's how much you're going to take it in. Got to be accurate here. So I'm going to measure from the top, the collar seam, and I'm going to just start there and just taper it gradually down to the apex, and then I'm going to drop down from there to the hem. I have a long stitch length on here initially, just in case I need to rip it out. It's easy to rip out a long stitch in case I make mistakes. That looks pretty good. So there's no apparent errors, nothing puckered. I didn't oversew. So good. This is good. This looks very good. This is with it sewn. I haven't cut it out or anything. Obviously, it's not pressed. A garment, it will always lay flat much better once you iron it after you've finished all of the work. I'm chewing, so whatever I had, I forgot what it was, but it must have been good. I'm cutting with pinking shears now. They're kind of a zigzag cut, so that way it doesn't ravel so much over time. Excellent. I'm not going to show how I sew the lining back in. Okay, here are the pants. The pants are 36 inches. I'm taking out 4 inches, leaving an inch because I want to leave room in case I get a little bit more belly. Right now I'm around 31-inch waist. These pants can be reduced to 32 inches. So there's my 2 inches on each side, which is a 4-inch total amount that I'm going to remove. And I'm going to be removing about 1 foot down. I'm going to taper 1 foot from the waistband, tapering it down. I have to take the waistband apart in order to sew it from the inside. we go. Measuring my 2-inch depth. Then we're going to measure 1 foot, where I'm going to taper from that waistband down to the 12-inch mark. Okay, that looks good. Again, a little bit of extra gap there I left in the pants just in case I gain a little weight over time. And I'm going to trim this out again with the pinking shears. You see how that cuts. Gotta fold my waistband back down on the inside so it doesn't pucker. And then I'm just going to sew it down. Hey, that looks good. Very good job. So here's before. A little bit blousy, not quite the best fit. This is not bad for an off-the-rack suit, but we can do better than that. And here's a tapered fit. Again, it's not pressed. It's going to lay a lot better on me after I've pressed it. But so far, it looks very good in that form. And I like it. Job well done. All right. Thanks for watching. Make today awesome.